other questions this morning?
I have one question really, and it's to do with the return to sites and the confusion that seems to be about construction moving into phase 2, which raises a couple of things. There seemed to be a couple of weeks ago mention of the construction industry had to give the Scottish Government a request to move into construction phase 2, and the Scottish Government would consider it, but it wouldn't be granting the start of phase 2 for at least 2 weeks after the request. Now, last week I couldn't find anything with that still on it. Is that still the case?
Hi there. As far as I know, that is still the case. The all of Scotland phasing to go back to work is currently in phase 1, and this construction specific plan to go back to work is currently in phase 0, and will move to phase 1. So within everybody's phase 1, construction has its phases 0 and 1. In phase 0, it's all about planning. In phase 1 for construction, it's all about preparation. So that's the kind of general idea. And as far as I know, construction should be waiting on the green light to move into any other phase, the same as the rest of industry in Scotland are waiting on confirmation that the metrics laid out by the Scottish Government are right and support a move to a new phase.
Yeah, there was a letter basically was circulated though that said construction had to request the move to be able to move to phase 2. So has that request been made? And if it has been made, or whether it has or hasn't, is the 2-week gap between the request and returning still in place? Because what everybody's trying to do is get a handle on when we're going to go back. Because I've got contractors right now, some of them have never ever stopped on big sites because they say they've been using subcontractors. When I say subcontractors, I mean joiners who were self-employed, like 1-man, 2-man bands. And we've got them asking us to go back to construction sites. And I'm quoting them this 2 weeks, and they're saying, well, where does it say that? Because they looked last week and couldn't see it. But it was there the week before, and it seems to have dropped off the map. And I was wondering if there's any change, because we're all trying to work out roughly when we can come back.
Yeah. What letter was it you referred to, and where was it that the thing disappeared from?
It was a letter from Kevin Stewart to who was it? Was it Von Hart Construction Scotland? That was issued on a week past Thursday. And then last week, when the announcement was that construction could move into phases 0 and 1, this 2 weeks was never mentioned before you could request to move into phase 2 and go to phase 2. It was never mentioned, and I wonder, I'm just trying to get a handle on when we can go back to sites, and also what the fact is. So when these main contractors are saying, yeah, we want you back, I've got one wanting me back on Monday to construction sites, and I'm saying, well, we can't because of this. I would like to know so I could actually show them exactly what that situation is. And on the other question that's kind of linked is last week, Alan put out in his piece, his commentary, which was great, that we're allowed to do repair and maintenance work in domestic property from now on. Repair and maintenance can be stretched. I mean, you could argue, and I think justifiably argue, that, for example, rewiring a house is repair and maintenance. If you've gone in and done an EICR that says that this house needs rewired, to me that's maintenance on that house. That isn't construction. And I suggested to Alan at the time, specific to the electrical industry, it might be quite good to put out some examples of what is considered, as he put it himself in inverted commas, repair and maintenance. Because you could get a whole lot of things that you could consider, as I say, a rewire could be repair and maintenance.
I think that's right. I mean, I'm sure Bob will come in a moment and give some thoughts on the repair and maintenance wording. Now, repair and maintenance has been able to be carried out, emergency work, etc., has been able to be carried out throughout the lockdown period and throughout this time, and so it continues at this stage to be the only kind which the guidance permits. But it's for individual businesses to be able to be confident that they can justify the work that they're doing is essential repair and maintenance. But Bob, do you want to come in and just share your thoughts about that?
Well, maintenance, I would have thought you're kind of stretching it a bit for a full rewire, but you're right. If there was obvious damage, a fire, for instance, a consumer unit went on fire, or partial rewires might come into that. Yeah, I can't really see why not. As long as, again, the way you're responding to that, as long as you take or comply with the government's guidelines on it, I'm going to see what the particular issue might be. As I say, a planned rewire. Yeah, maybe pushing it a wee bit there, because could that not be done at a later date, something like that? If there's a reason for it, fair enough. Circuit's been out of action, people have been left without power. Yeah, fair enough.
But we've actually got a few like this, that we've done EICRs in properties that are badly needing rewired, and we've got some of them are vacant, waiting for tenants to go in as soon as the work's done. Other ones have admittedly got tenants in them.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
I would argue that that's repair and maintenance.
Well, the ones that are empty, I don't see a particular issue there. They could certainly organise that work to be done within the scope of the government guidelines quite easily.
Yeah. Okay. The difficulty I think out there is that the Scottish Government and the people that are making up these construction rules actually see construction sites as having hoardings around them, millions of site or loads of site huts and tower cranes.
Yeah.
Construction goes right down the bottom, right down to the smallest little thing in some respects. And I think the association, as far as electrical goes, it would be kind of useful to get a what you can't do list.
Mm-hmm.
It would help to form this sort of judgment. It would also give us some, when we're getting pressure put on us to go and do things, we would have something to refer to. Because right now we really don't. It's so vague. It really is so vague. Now all I've been able to do is take that letter that was circulated from Kevin Stewart to Construction Scotland and say, well, this is what is in place. And of course, these guys will say, well, I've never seen that. It's getting, of course, as time's gone on, it's getting more and more and more pressure put on us to get back and do things.
Yeah, again, Nick had a question the other day, and it relates to an article kind of produced for the magazine. About maintenance and preparing for going back, planning for going back to work. The duty holder that is responsible for the health and safety of everybody in that building when they return to work, and the visitors and the members of the public. I mean, retail outlets are just opening next week in some instances. So, inspection and testing might be part of that. It might be just a routine check. Somebody goes around and checks everything's safe and works. properly, but there might be items that are uncovered even through the routine checks that requires somebody to go in and do remedial work for health and safety reasons. It may be that you need more thorough inspection and testing. It might need periodic inspection and testing. It might need part testing to be done to identify what needs maintenance within the installation, depending on the condition that it was in when it was shut down in March and how long you see it's been shut down. Things like emergency lighting, for instance, you know, you get somebody back into a new building, a building that's been shut for a period of time, should I say, and the emergency lighting hasn't been checked, and the fire alarm system hasn't been checked. You know, these things are going to have to be done before the buildings can open up as part of health and safety requirements. So if they're planning to reopen, they're going to have to implement these before they reopen.
Yeah, but that's, I suppose, phase 0 and 1. But then there still is this, in this letter, it did say there would be a 2-week gap. And it's my first question was really, does that still exist? Because as soon as Scottish Construction makes that request to move into phase 2, at least that would give us a timescale to work to. It's kind of important for us to know that. Because right now we have no timescale to work to.
Stephen, can I maybe suggest that I'll get Alan to contact you directly after this webinar?
Yeah.
He's in regular contact with both Vaughan and Kevin Stewart. In fact, I think he might be on a call to Vaughan at this moment. He'll be able to give you the latest update and see if anything's changed and maybe provide some clarity on that 2-week window you've been discussing in the letter. Would that be okay if I get Alan to contact you direct?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem at all.
So all we want is, all of us just want a bit of clarity on everything, don't we?
Yeah, we've got people that say the main contractors who are, put a lot of pressure on us to get back to work. Yeah. We actually had one this week on a house that's basically completely a brand new house, big house, that's now at the stage it's needing fitted out. And we're working to a main contractor who's advising the client what the situation is, quite rightly. And the client went and got another electrician in this week, a select member, I hasten to add, the client was going to get him to fit the whole house out. Because we were in inverted commas refusing to come.
Yeah, well, we're kind of, I'll jump in. We're in the same boat. I've been this week, especially. We've been, for one better word, bullied into coming back to the building site because we didn't. I knew fine we were going to lose it. You know, a guy is a kind of contractor. He'll just go and get somebody else. You know, he's that kind of guy. He doesn't give a FUCK, but nobody, like, you know. I went yesterday to do a first fix just to keep ahead of joiners. The joiners are not happy. They're there. They're not happy. They don't feel they should be there. A plumber, he arrived. He's not happy. He doesn't think he should be there. Painter's coming next week. You know, so it's just. But we have to do it. You know, this guy he's not saying it in so many words, but we know fine that if we don't turn up, he'll just get somebody else. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting that. We're getting one quite big builder on a big site, multi house site, who is wanting us back on Monday morning.
Yeah, I've got to go back Monday morning to do another house because you know, he needs it done. You know, but as I say, all the contractors are in the same boat. None of them want to be there because they don't feel it's right. Yeah. You know, we're like you. We're waiting for this phase 2, and you know.
Yeah. Just knowing when that phase 2 is likely to be is useful.
Yeah, well, definitely. I keep hoping that we're going to get clarity, you know. And I mean, there's one or two other contractors who are brilliant. They're sitting there, they're back preparing their sites, and they're going to wait for us. No problem. But this one guy who we do a lot of work for, he's not waiting anymore. You know.
No. The one that they got the other guy in, it wasn't actually the contractor. The client, who's desperate to get into his house, went and got another electrician. They haven't done anything yet. I don't know if that electrician has walked away. I don't know yet if he's walked away and says, I'm not touching it, or whether he's going to appear back on Monday with all the fittings and fit this place out. I don't know. Don't know the answer to that. Our main contractor, fortunately, has said to the client, if you do that, we'll be making a final account up now, and I'll not be doing any more work for you.
Well, that's good. As long as he's sticking with you, that's good. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, the contractor's fine. It's the client that's decided to do this.
And I can understand. I mean, we're all in the same boat. We all want to get back to work, but you know, we've done 10 weeks. You know, if there's another 2 or 3 to do, then fine. You know, let's do it.
One of the risks that folk who are bringing their employees back to work at this stage are taking is that upon having accepted the work and going there and sending their operatives to complete it, if in the operative's opinion the workplace is unsafe or the site hasn't been, no allowances have been made or any measures taken to mitigate the danger to health and safety regarding COVID, if they don't feel enough has been done, employees have the right under Section 44 of the Employment Rights Act 1996 to leave that site and to refuse to return to it on full pay because they feel that their health and safety isn't protected at work. It's an implied duty within an employment contract, and if nothing is done to mitigate that, then these employers, if that happened to them, could be seen as being in breach of contract with each employee.
Yeah.
So that's
No.
taking who are having their folk back just now.
The thing is, some of these main contractors, though, I mean, the one I'm talking about, all his own directly employed guys are on furlough, and he's been using his guys that what we would say are on the grip to keep his sites open. So these joiners have been bashing up plasterboard and partitions and things like that. They haven't stopped in 12 weeks. They've been there every single day. Main contractor's site agent goes open up the site first thing for them at 7:30 in the morning, goes back at 5 o'clock at night and locks the site up. And you can understand why these guys in the grip are doing it, because a lot of them are not going to get any government help. And I don't think that's unusual.
Can I
Okay.
I've just got an email from Alan there. He's just been on a call. He's just winding down a call with Scottish Government, and Restart has been on the agenda on that. So can I get him to give you contact you, Stephen, directly afterwards? Hopefully there's been an update. If there's been a significant update that impacts on work that we can and can't do currently, or in the next 7 days, we'll see if we can issue an update on that as well.
Okay, no, that's great. That's great.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any other final questions?
No, not from me, thanks.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I hope everybody found it useful, and we hope to see you all again soon at some point in the future.
Yep.
Thanks,
Okay,
everyone.
thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Bye.